Hey, I'm Hans. You're watching Tractor Hoarders. I'm going to answer a question for you that sometimes I get asked, and I had the curiosity of before, even last 6 months. Can you store your tractors in shipping containers? Let me flip this around and show you. So what I have here are two 40-foot high cube containers. High cube is when you get containers that are a little bit taller, like these have an extra foot on them or so, I believe, compared to a standard one. So the sizes you're going to see are 20 foot or 40 foot commonly, and then high cube is an option, as I mentioned, where it's taller. So anyhow, I got the largest. I got the 40-foot high cubes. I got two of them. So inside, just from here, on the left, I have a Farmwall M. On the right, I've got the John Deere A, along with some others. I'm going to take you in there and show you how exactly these fit. So this is Farmwall. If you've seen it in other videos, this is the M. This is a pretty big tractor. That, and I have a bush hog on the back, and this thing's got a loader on it. As we go in here, it'll be kind of interesting what the acoustics are like on the video. Get a lot of echo in here. So there's not a lot of room to like go around the tractors, but you can see this is a pretty decent sized tractor, and it fits in here. The width is just enough. These wheels, the way that they're adjusted, they're pretty much, I don't want to say they're at their widest position, but this is at a pretty fairly common width. And obviously, you know, the axles aren't anywhere close to hitting the walls. We got plenty of room. So I couldn't necessarily move the wheels out wider than they are, but in a pretty common position, it'll fit. Let me take you into the other one. So in here, this is a John Deere A. Same, similar track, I guess, how the wheels are adjusted. These wheels are actually adjusted to, I think, almost as far out as they can go. There's plenty of room. Like, I know it looks tight, but if you're a good driver, that's not a problem. So obviously you can't go around the tractors. It kind of stinks to have to stack them in here if you want to get to the front, but let me show you what I do. So if I want to get up here, obviously I can take the tractors and actually take them out, but I will just climb up on one. This will be interesting holding the camera, see what happens here. Okay, so we went over that axle. And then over here, I've got the John Deere B, which I can also hop over this axle if I want. And in the back, I got a Ford 2N. So that's three tractors that fit pretty comfortably in here. Now, these two here, because they're the row crop tractors with the narrow fronts, if I want to be a little bit more efficient with my stacking of tractors in here, I can put, you know, you can see I got the B to where it's kind of positioned sideways. Well, I can do the same thing with the A. I could drive it up forward, you know, to where they're kind of, I don't know, crisscrossed a little bit. And if I did that, if I had a reason to do that, then I could get a fourth tractor in here. So that's 4 tractors and one 40-foot container. Not bad. Now, another thing that you just need to know about. So I'm sitting on the A right now. I probably got a couple feet between my exhaust stack and the roof of this thing. If I didn't have a high cube, yes, it would probably fit, but I doubt that I could comfortably drive one of these in here. So I think if you're considering doing this and you have the option, I would get a high cube container, because I really don't have any issue driving these things in here. You know, I look on both sides. I'm looking on the right and left, watching my wheels, making sure I'm not getting too close to the walls and whatnot, but I don't have any concerns with the roof. So height-wise, we're good. Width, we're good. If you wanted to put like smaller tractors in here, like subcompacts or compact tractors, those are obviously no issue at all. Anything larger than, you know, tractors from the 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe 60s, you might have to start questioning things and really look at your dimensions. But if you're into antique tractors, these work great for that. The other thing that I needed to do, let me show you, is for ventilation. So it's kind of common to hear that, you know, if you're getting shipping containers, you need to add vents to them. Well, I did. Let me show you. They actually did have vents in them when I got them. Small ones. So up there, that's a vent. There's probably, I'm not going to go up there again, but I know there were 2 vents per container at minimum. This one I think actually has 4. There and there. Now to me, I don't know. I questioned whether or not that ventilation was enough. The concern is that if you don't have adequate ventilation and you're putting things in here that have fumes, like from gas, that you might want to be cautious about that and you want to add more ventilation. Now you can buy these vents, Amazon and other specialty websites, specifically for adding them to shipping containers. They're kind of pricey, and if you don't mind spending the money, it's fine. I'm sure they fit really well. For a vent, if you think about it, it's just a way for air to go in and out. I had trouble with spending a couple $100s on vents on this stuff. So what I did, I did a little bit of shopping at Home Depot, and I thought, you know, what's the cheapest thing I could come up with? Well, here's a vent that you would get for like your house on the inside, and this thing probably costs like $2. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe it was definitely under 10. And I put 2 of those on per container. I'll show you over here. What I did was I took my angle grinder and I just cut slots in the container. I didn't cut out this whole section. I could have, but on the outside, then I would have had to deal with this gap that's here. Obviously, it's fine for ventilation, but I just didn't want a bunch of like bugs coming in. Not that I care about bugs, but I didn't want like wasp nests and things like that. I'll show you this other one. So on the end here, same thing, it's just up higher. So I have them both up high and down low. This is actually the outside of one of them that was already on the container. That's the one that I was kind of questioning whether I get enough flow with. But between having those and the ones I added, I feel pretty good about it. Maybe we can see over here. Here's another one. So that's a really cheap way to go. Having the angle grinder was something that was really nice for this. It was quick and easy to cut. I use this DeWalt 60 volt angle grinder, and the thing cut through it like butter. So anyway, if you're questioning the same thing, can I use shipping containers for tractor storage? The answer is yes. One other thing, the reason why I went this route and didn't go with a barn, because ultimately I wanted a barn. I would still like a barn. I'm not convinced that I want a barn here. So if you're maybe not wanting something permanent, or you're just on a budget that doesn't allow it, give the shipping container thing a try. It's worked out well for me. I'd recommend it to anyone else. The other thing that you should look for when you are putting them somewhere, you want a level spot. I leveled this ground out pretty decent. It's not perfect, but I did level it out, got them in a level spot. So if you don't have a level spot, you're going to need to make one. Another thing that's good, these are actually just sitting on the ground. However, if you are wanting to do this, and maybe you live in an area where there's more moisture or the ground's wet, I would put it up on something, like on some railroad ties, something like that. Get it off the ground. Out here where I'm at, this is literally, it's fairly close to being the desert. So it's dry. Like, I'm not too worried about it. And because I don't know how long this stuff's going to be here, it's not, ideally, it won't be forever. I'm not too worried about it. So anyway, hope this is helpful, because I didn't find a video like this when I was trying to find the answers. Could I put these tractors in a shipping container? There wasn't anything obvious to me. So that's hopefully what this video does for you. Yes, you can do it. Go for it. It works. If you're efficient with it and you got a 40-foot container, you can put 4 tractors in per container. That's a lot of tractors. There's a fair chance that we get to that point too, because I keep acquiring them. So anyhow, we'll see what happens. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this was helpful. Have a good one.